Can we know what a specific function is doing without actually going through complete code? We can using Docstring. To understand this Docstring, watch the video till the end so that you can able to understand how we are using this Docstring and how we are effectively working using Docstring. So let's get started. Welcome to the series of everything you need to know about Python in simplest possible way. So when we come to Docstring, Docstring is one of the way that we can document the string in terms of a string inside of a function, class. There are different things that we can document using Docstring. So in this video, we will discuss how we can document something in terms of a string in a function. So by this, we don't need to go to the complete function to understand what that function is doing. So let us understand clearly how this Docstring works. So let's say I will defining a function which is add, which by what I wanted to do in here is that I wanted to add two numbers here. I'm taking number 1 and number 2 here. So after that, inside of this function, I will mention whatever the things that I am doing in this function. So before actually implementing the code, I will mention some of the details what this function do. So in terms of a string, Docstring. So here we are representing this Docstring inside of these three single quotes or double quotes. So here I am using double quotes. You can use single quotes also. So by using this one only, we are representing the Docstring, which is nothing but a string. So whatever the things that I am doing in this function, I can mention in this Docstring. So whenever someone is using this function, they can simply come to this Docstring and they can understand how this function working without actually going to the implementation. So in this function, I am just adding two numbers, but in real world, we might be having a lot of code inside of a function, and without actually going through all the code, by simply using this Docstring, we can know what this function is doing. So here, what I will be mentioning is that I am mentioning args, which means what are the arguments that I am taking. So I am taking number 1, which is nothing but n integer here. So I am mentioning one more number 2 here. So this number 2, which is nothing but another integer here. So what is that? Something that I am returning. So what is I am returning? So I am returning result. So addition, which is also of integer type. Like this, we can actually mention all the things. So it is not mandatory. We can mention whatever the things that we wanted inside of a Docstring. So here, by simply mentioning this, whatever the arguments that we are taking, whatever the return value that we are giving, so by this, a new developer can able to understand clearly what this function doing. So let's say I will mention process. What is the process that I am doing inside of this function, which is nothing but addition. So simply we can mention all these things inside of a Docstring. So after that, we can mention whatever the process that we are doing. So what I will be doing is that I will take sum here and I will add sum number 1 plus number 2, and I will return this sum here. So I am just returning this sum. So now if I execute this, so this is got executed, you can see here. So we are defining a function, right? We are not calling this function. So let's say if I call this function by giving 2 and 3, so I am just calling this function, and if I execute this, so we are getting this 5. So let's say this is one developer. This is the developer that what write this code and what he was executing. Let's say I am a new developer coming to here and I wanted to use this function. I don't know how this function is behaves. Instead of going to the function where the function is defined, we can actually access the Docstring and the behavior of this function by using a specific way, which is nothing but the method doc here. So I will explain clearly. So I will just print the behavior of this function using this Docstring. So to do that, I am just calling this addition, which is nothing but the function name. So after that, I will use one of the way, which is nothing but doc here. So by using this variable doc, we can able to get the Docstring from this function, which is nothing but add here. So now if I execute this, so this doc, give me 1 second. So now, so we don't need to mention the parentheses, we can directly execute this. So now what I am doing is that I am just mentioning the function name and I am just calling this doc here. So by this you can able to get exactly what is present inside of a doc string. So here you can able to see we are having arguments, return, process. So exactly that what we have in above we are getting inside of this doc string. So I hope you can able to understand by having this simple doc string, simple documentation in terms of a string, we don't need to go to the place where the function is defined, and we can actually get everywhere that what we are developing then and there itself by simply using this doc here. So this is one of the way that we can able to access the documentation of the function. So there is another way that we can access, which is nothing but help. So by using this help we can able to access. So I am using this help and I am mentioning the function name here. If I execute this, still we can able to get the result, which is nothing but the documentation of the string, a documentation of the function, that is what we have defined in this add function. So by simply having this add, so here we don't need to mention the print statement also. By simply mentioning this help, we can able to get the result. So here help on function add, so we are using the function add, right? That is what here is getting. So in the module main, so by default we will be executing the code in the main function, that is what it is returning, so which is nothing but a main module here. So we are getting the exactly, so we are getting the function signature also. So here function definition add of num1 and num2, we are getting that as well. So apart from that we are getting everything that is present in the docstring. So by using this docstring we can actually make our process simpler and understand what the function is doing. So these are the two ways that we can access the docstring. So whenever you are using Jupyter notebook, you have one more advantage. I will tell you what that is. So let's say I am mentioning this add and I will mention a question mark at the end. So if I execute this, so here you can able to see the result, right? So here you can able to see the signature, the log string, and the file where we are executing this code, and after that we can see the type, which is nothing but function. So this will come in the Jupyter notebook by simply mentioning the function name and the question mark here. So when you mention one question mark, you will get something like this. Let's say if you mention one more question mark, totally two question marks. If you execute this, so we can see the complete code for the function here. See exactly we are getting the code inside of this function. So exactly what we are defining above. So here you can see the exact code, right? So by using this docstring we have this many number of advantages. So we can know what the function is doing without actually going each line and understanding of the function. So I hope you have understood the importance of docstring and the real application, that real use case of where we can use this docstring to make our process simpler. So if you found this video interesting, hit the like button and comment whatever you think about this video in the comment section. So like this we have some more things to discuss about functions that we will discuss in our coming videos. To stay updated with my latest videos, subscribe to this channel and turn on the notifications to all, so that whenever I upload any video, you will get the notification. So thank you for watching this video. See you in the next one.